Welcome to day 2 of 30 days of AL, and today we are going to look at how to use the Assist Edit functionality.
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
When defining, this is the Assist Edit that we are speaking about, and when defining number series, we are able to define relationships between the numbers, and in that way we need, if we are designing it in our custom tables, we need a way of identifying the values that, or a way of creating this assist edit button, because by default it's not displayed and it's usually done using the on assist edit trigger, where if you have a relationship with the number series, then you can be able to get that working, because number series enables a company organize their documents in a sequence that is easy to manage, and it makes management of documents easier. And you create a number series by using the tell me what you, what is it called, the tell me what you want to do feature. You can search for number series and go create a number series, let me say or 30 days of AL, and then in this case we can be able to define the lines of the number series, that is the starting date. What is the starting date if you want to restrict the date? And what is the starting number? It should be having a number as well. And then what is the ending number, and by what the size of the increment. Is it incrementing by 1, by 2, by 3, and by all that? And do you want to allow gaps in number series and all that? Maybe for details you can be able to look at this, but today's session is focused on specifically getting the assist edit to work, because in a number series scenario you can define the relationships, meaning that this number series called Msangi is related to maybe assembly orders, and maybe it's also related to maybe assembly quote number series, and maybe the vendor number series. So in this case, or in this way, we are able to sort of say that this number series has this type of relationship, and at the same time we can also specify whether this number series will be used to assign numbers automatically, and if we also allow manual numbers to be assigned in number series. And at the same time we can also be able to specify dates or the deadline for a number series if we'd like. Maybe there's some companies who usually have maybe a number series for a particular year. Maybe they have the year appended, the end of the year appended. So for such number series, you set up with the date in mind, whereas you say that this is the ending date of this number series, so that when they begin a new year, the code of that new year is appended in that particular number series. Okay, so how do we define number series? Let's start with number series first before we can be able to go back to how we can be able to now implement the assist edit functionality, because it's not a big deal. And again, most of this work is not, we aren't supposed to really cram whatever is happening, but I'm here on the customers card and customers page. We do have the on insert trigger. That is where we are defining a number series. Remember, we need to initialize our number series to make sure that it can be able to fetch, and the code unit that manages the number series is the number series management, or no series MGMT. I have defined a table and a page. So the table is my number series table and the page is my number series page. So in the table we can create now our on insert trigger right here, and we can be able to now sort of define the number series management code unit And after defining it, we can be able now to initialize our series. But remember, okay, let's go to this code unit first, and then we'll come back here in a few. So the number series code unit has got several functions, like get number, get next number, manual numbers allowed, test manual with document number, init series. So the function that we need that to use is the init series, and it's a function that is used in most document to initialize the number series. So this is the function, and we can see that there is a number series that has been set up in the sales and receivable setup for the customer number. So this particular number series that we are able to set up in the number series page, we also need to be able to fetch it now from the other side of the page and set it up and get it. So this is a setup table, sales and receivable setup. We can use our setup table. Let's just use the purchases and payable setup. I have not extended it, so I'll just mirror a certain number series, purchases and payable setup. So the first step is to make sure that the number series is working, or it has been set up first using the test field. So the purchase and payable setup dot test field, the number series, then that we get it first. Okay, we need to get a record from the purchases and payable setup, and then we test field that the, let's say, vendor numbers maybe has been set up in this purchase and payable setup. And then what remains here is just now there's no series management dot init series to initialize the series, and we have seen the method via viewing the no series management code unit. It contains several parameters. Of course, they are more than required if you look at it in that way, but this is still enough. But you know, this really manages a lot in terms of what is supposed to be done in a number series, including maintaining the next number that should be fetched by the number series code. So the first value is the default number series code, which usually now contains these purchases and payable setup dot the number that has been set up. So this is basically getting the number series code. And again, the second value is the old number series code. So we should always have a field in our table that is the number series field with the table relation to the number series. Remember, this field is basically just storing the number series code that we are using. So in the event that there is an old number series, and it's especially used for now the assist edit functionality. So very important to have it well defined, especially for the assist edit. Or it's actually supposed to be a code of 20 here, and when you look at the customer table, we have that field defined, and ideally it's not editable because it's something that is used by the system, and the number series management code unit to be able to update the number series. So we have the old number series, and we are using the xrec to get the previous record, just in case we had a previous record. And the previous record in this case will mean that now we already have maybe a number series defined, but now this is holding the previous record to show us what is the number series code in the event that we need to fetch a relationship of the number series. And then the new date for these kind of tables, we just specify 0D, but most of these default tables, we usually have a date like today and all that. And then the new number now is a var, means it's passed by reference to update the number series that we'd like to actually use. So we'd like to update our number here, which a table contains the number and the description. So the number is what we are trying to update, and we now set it up as the new number. And then the new series code is now the rec dot number series, because the series code is now containing what is the new series code. And in the event of having the relationship part and we have updated it, we would like to know what is now the new series code in the event that we have updated this number series. So this is the basic of having to set it up, and we need to also it's also good practice to have an on validate to test for a manual number series that has been set up. Maybe somebody is trying to edit the number series. So what do? You set up a manual to sort of validate what whatever has been set up. No series management. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? So the code unit is no series management, and then okay, Hari has no blessings. So now this no series management, we can basically test manual. We are testing the number series code that was set up in the purchases and payable setup. So we should also be having maybe a record. This one can be defined as a global variables to just avoid having to redefine it every other time and getting it, and I don't know, doing all that. Like here we need to purchases and payable setup.get, and then again now we just test manual vendor numbers. We test to make sure that manual numbers are allowed. So if manual numbers are not allowed in that particular number series, we test to make sure that everything is fine. So let me see. But again, they usually sort of set the number series to be blank just in case the manual numbers are allowed and the test has passed, and we can have a test manual. Yeah, that is it. We set it up back to the default blank number series. So the last thing here is now the gist or the focus of the video, which is to set up the assist edit on the page, and this trigger is done on the page. Here we do have the trigger done on the table, but now we need to have here on the page. The page contains a number field, and we have a trigger known as on assist edit, and this is where we specify now our assist edit. So quickly we just need to mirror the whatever is happening in the customer, because on assist edit there is an event, and then now we can be able to look at it. So what they have done is fetch this event in a table. The event has been created in a table, but we can copy this method and have it in our own table. So it's called from a table, but it's coming now back to here. Right after the on insert trigger, we can have the procedure assist edit, and you can see that it is calling a record of the old customer, but here we can say it's a record of my number series table, because that's the name of our table. We call a short notation of it, then it's returning a boolean. Then from what I've seen, Microsoft are still using the implicit with for some reason for their on-prem. So let's leave that variable defined, but now we can remove the implicit with. But this one is basically set up for the purpose of having the on before assist edit or on assist edit on before exit. So we can basically be able to remove this and remove now the implicit with, because we do not want to use the implicit with for our cloud ready software. And then now here basically we are just assigning the customer to record, so we'll remove that as well. And now we need to have our purchases and payable setup. I think this one should be defined as a global variable because it is really okay, let me just copy it. Since we are here, let me copy it, have it here, get it from this side, then test the vendor numbers. Okay, Troy. Then now, so we are using now the no series management dot select series. So what we are targeting here is now, for us, is the vendor numbers. It could be now your own number that you'd like to use, and then here we are having the old customer number, or here, but this one was supposed to be old my number series table, because when you're calling it, will pass it in the form of an xrec, not on as a rec. So here is the old my number series table. Then the other field here is number series, which is sort of, it was using the implicit with to refer to that customer, but again the customer was already allocated to the record, so it means we still have the record as rec. So this one will be referring to the current record, and it will work the way it is, as well as this one which will refer to the current record. And we don't need the on assist edit stuff here, but we can leave it as this, and we are done with our setting series. We just need now to define it now in our page where we have the on assist edit trigger. So okay, so if assist edit, now we need to call the xrec, then we update the page, because what this one does, it will save the current record and then update the controls of the page. So if you want to save the if you set the save record parameter to false, this method will not save the record before the page is updated. So it will save this particular method. So I don't know why it is saying assist edit does not exist, because we have not appended the rec.assistEdit. It was not be able to fetch. So this is the default page that will be run when I run the application. So I'll run it and be able to see whatever is fetched on our side. And what we are getting when we preview the page is okay, we expect the assist edit. So prior to this video, I have defined the vendor record, and we have our assist edit here previewed. My number series page is here, and we can sort of maybe just enter. So this is vendor 70, and go to a new one, or just use the same one and try to update it. We have these appointment numbers as an assist edit property, so I can update it to appointment numbers from vendor numbers and vice versa. I can go again, select a new, maybe I want to use appointment numbers, and this is it. So maybe in the event where the user has the discretion to select from different number series, and you'd like them to use a different assist edit for a different number series, then this functionality can be really helpful for you or for us. Okay, so that's it for this video. I will see you in day 3 of 30 days of AL.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.